Welcome to Monster Hunter Master. In this series, I'll be playing through Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak from start to finish, doing everything there is to do in the game. This means I must complete the following tasks. Complete every quest. Craft every weapon, armor piece and decoration for both the Hunter and the Palico and Palamute at each rank. Unlock every guild card title and obtain every award. Only when I do all of this will I consider myself to be a Monster Hunter Master. Let's hunt. I feel the first thing to address is why Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is the Monster Hunter game that I've decided to play. The reason is simple. The current latest game in the series, Monster Hunter Wilds, isn't finished, and the best game in the series in my opinion, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, isn't on Steam, which would currently be my only way to record gameplay footage. That meant that my choice was either between Monster Hunter World Iceborne and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. For me, a Monster Hunter game is ultimately defined by two things, the hunter and the monsters. While I like the different styles of hunter gameplay about the same in both games, I looked at the lists of monsters available in both of them, and I found that there were just more monsters that I wanted to fight in Rise Sunbreak compared to World Iceborne. As this series will involve a ton of grinding, I would appreciate it if that grind was as fun as possible. You start the game by first making a hunter. I've always chosen to play as the male hunter in these games, but as I'd like to show off footage of the visual armour differences for both genders, and as I've already completed a save file with a male hunter already that I can get footage from, I decided it was more convenient to play as a female hunter this time. I make my hunter look like Saber from Fate's Day Night, and my Palamute look like Guts from Berserk, because if I'm going to finish this series, I'll need the power of God and anime on my side. I then make a Palico that looks like my cat, Socks, because he's just the best. After making our hunter and buddies, my hunter wakes up to see two shrine maidens, Minato and Hinoa, who show me the place I found myself in, Kamura Village. After having a brief episode 1 Ho-Oh moment, the two shrine maidens introduce me to the village chief, Fugen, who tells me about a horrible event from the past that almost destroyed Kamura Village, called the Rampage. I'll get into that later though, as there are much more important things to do right now, like tutorials. I meet Kagero the merchant, who sells items and hosts a lottery. Hamon the blacksmith, who will be making all our weapons and armour. Yomogi the chef, who makes food for us to eat before we hunt. Guildmaster Hojo, who to be honest isn't really important. And Master Utsushi, who makes me take his picture. Bit weird. I then show off my Kohoot to Hinoa, who I call Shiro, before speaking with Senri, the mailman, so that I can download hundreds of hours worth of event quests, along with some useful items. I then change my weapon from the default longsword to the much superior greatsword, because the greatsword is the best weapon type in the series. No, I haven't used any other weapon type in my 13 plus years of playing these games. I don't understand what your point is. Anyway, I change into some better armour that I downloaded earlier from Senri, who also gave me some metallic eggs to sell. Selling these to Kagero gets us enough Zeni, which is the currency in this game, for the first award of the series, Extravagant Cash Box. I then cross this bridge to visit the Buddy Plaza, introducing myself to Buddy Expert Shirobei, Buddy Handler Iori, Feline Chief Kogarashi, and Rondine the Trader. There isn't much to do here at the moment, but Iori does let me hire some special buddies for later. Hinoa then tells me that Master Utsushi has some training I need to complete, giving me the first quest of the game, back to basics. Yo, Ace! A hunter's never too good to cut over the basics. That's why I've got a quest for you where you'll revisit all the hunting fundamentals. I'll be waiting for you at the shrine ruins. See you there! From Master Utsushi. This is the Shrine Ruins, and the quest is simple. Master Utsushi asks us to follow him. On the way there, I pick up some herbs from a gathering spot. For those of you watching that are new to Monster Hunter, item ingredients and crafting materials for equipment can be obtained from gathering spots located throughout each area. For example, the herbs I just picked up can be used to make potions, which restore my hunter's health. I'll be going over what everything you can find does in each area the first time I find it. You can also get account items from gathering spots, which all give an alternative form of currency called Kamura points. I'll go into more detail about what Kamura points are used for in a later video. When we find Master Utsushi, he teaches me about the wire bug mechanic, which is unique to this game. Wire bugs allow the hunter to fly across the ground or into the air, greatly increasing our mobility options. There are also unique wire bug attacks for each weapon type, though I'll be covering those later. Master Utsushi then asks me to ride his palamute to the next location he wants to show me. On the way there, I find some peeper sects, a form of endemic life which decreases stamina use temporarily. Finding endemic life for the first time adds an entry to the hunter's notes. A butterfly with spotted yellow wings that can be found living in swarms in various locales across the region. In the past, they were mistaken for flying eyeballs, hence their creepy name. When attacked, they release a type of dust before fleeing. This dust can temporarily boost stamina if it is inhaled. I also find a Vigor Wasp, which instantly restores my hunter's health points. It's worth noting, if you're playing this on multiplayer, that triggering some endemic life like peeper sects and Vigor Wasps also affects other hunters around you. An insect that collects a restorative nectar and stores it in its sac. When struck, the sac releases a healing mist that's sure to be useful for hunters in a pinch. I gather antidote herbs, which are used to make antidote potions that cure the poison status, as well as the helmet pieces for the Melahoa armor sets. I also find a cloth fly, which temporarily boosts defense. A butterfly with long wings. In flight, it looks like a flowing piece of cloth, giving its name. When struck, it scatters a dust cloud and flees. The dust has a tightening effect on human skin, making it more resistant to injury. Further up, I find some trap bugs, which can be used defensively when fighting large monsters. Insects with sharp horns that live in colonies affixed to tree branches. If attacked, their horns will stick out in a defensive position. Their horns are so tough that they can even pierce the thick hide on the bottom of a monster's foot. They are often used by hunters as a natural trap, or as a means to slow down or turn away pursuers. I gather some honey, which is used to upgrade potions and first aid meds into mega potions and first aid med pluses, both of which healing more than their previous versions. Honey is also used to make catalysts, which is a different crafting ingredient used in potion and ammo crafting, energy drinks which boost stamina and remove the sleep status, and it's used when crafting the stealth dango dual blades. I then run past an orange spiribird, which you collect automatically when you get near them. There are different types of spiribird, each of them providing a quest-long permabuff based on what petaless equipment you're wearing. The different coloured spiribirds boost different stats, with the orange ones boosting defense. A small bird that glows a faint orange. This glow comes from pollen that accumulates on its body while drinking nectar. Many mistake this glow for a human soul, hence the name. Petalises become fragrant and pollens provide a defensive boost when imbued with this pollen. Climbing up a small ledge, I find a stink mink, which, when activated, attracts nearby large monsters to your location. A weasel with distinct snow-white fur that is light and warm. When threatened, it emits a type of pheromone from the scent glands near the base of its tail, in the form of a smoke-like cloud. It uses its tail to spread the cloud in an attempt to attract any monster nearby. If a monster is successfully lured to its location, it'll use this chance to escape. I then gather some toadstool mushrooms, which you use to make the poison smoke bombs, poison meat, poison coating for bows, and poisoned ammo for bowguns, all of which are used to inflict the poison status on monsters. Toadstools are also used to make the Wyvern's Perch Greatsword, Poison Fungus Axe Hunting Horn, Chaos Bow, and the chest piece for the Chaos Armor set. I find a flash bug perched on a stone archway, which is used to craft flash bombs that temporarily blind monsters, as well as some latch berries, which are used to make pierce ammo for bowguns. I also gather some monster dung, which can be used to make dung bombs that cause large monsters hit by them to run away, effectively serving as the counterpart to the stink mink from earlier.
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't spread over every egg.
Climbing the nearby ledge, I gather some ivy, which is used to make nets for pitfall traps. I'll go into what traps are for when we need to hunt a large monster. Ivy is also used when crafting the Wyvern's Perch Greatsword, the Pumpkin Hammer, Corn Popper Gun Lance, the Poison Fungus Axe Hunting Horn, and the Corrosive Bazooka Heavy Bowgun. I then run into another spiribird, although this time it's a red one that boosts attack. A small bird that glows a faint red. This glow comes from pollen that accumulates on its body while drinking nectar. Many mistake this glow for a human soul, hence the name. Petalises become fragrant and grant an attack boost when imbued with this pollen. I also gather some bomb berries to make cluster bomb ammo with for the bowguns. I also mined some iron ore and earth crystals, both of which are used to make far too many weapons and armor to list here. You should always make a point to gather at these spots when you find them, due to how often these materials are used in equipment crafting. Climbing up another level, I run into a yellow spirit bird, which increases the hunter's max stamina. A small bird that glows a faint yellow. This glow comes from pollen that accumulates on its body while drinking nectar. Many mistake this glow for a human soul, hence the name. Petalaces become fragrant and pollens provide a stamina boost when imbued with this pollen. Going further, I find some parashrooms. These are used to make tinged meat, paracoating for bows, and paralysis ammo for bowguns, all of which inflicting the paralysis status on monsters. They're also used to make trank bombs, which I'll cover when we need to fight a large monster, as well as the cat's paw sword and shield, Pledge's needle lance, the Vicella Nulo green hunting horn, the chaos bow, and the helmet piece for the chaos armor set. Finding Master Atsushi, he tells me about some of the endemic life I've already covered before leaving again. Behind him is a bone pile, which I gather some Monster Bone S and twisted remains from. Like with the iron ore and earth crystals I gathered earlier, you use these bones to make far too many types of weapons and armor to list here. I also find a flash fly, which when triggered can blind large monsters in the same way that flash bombs can. Winged insects that emit a bright light when struck. To survive, flash flies live together in a swarm and have a defense mechanism that allows them to emit a blinding flash when threatened, giving them time to flee to safety. The flash is so bright that it's possible to cause a large monster to flinch. Once the threat has disappeared, the swarm will gather together again. Further up, I gather some blue mushrooms. You use these to make herbal medicine, which restores some health and cures the poison status, as well as life powder, which is used as an area-wide heal similar to what the Vigor Wasp does. It's also used when crafting the Bone Horn Hunting Horn. Finding Master Atsushi again, he asks me how I'm doing, pointing me in the direction to fight some small monsters up ahead. Behind him though is a green spirit bird, which increases the hunter's max health bar, a small bird that glows a faint green. This glow comes from pollen that accumulates on its body while drinking nectar. Many mistake this glow for a human soul, hence the name. Petalaces become fragrant and pollens provide a health boost when imbued with this pollen. On the way over to the small monsters, I gather some spiderweb, which is used in combination with the ivy from earlier to make nets with. Crawling into the hole next to it, I find some golden spirit bugs, which give Kamura points when collected. A golden beetle. When in flight, the sound of its wings flapping has a relaxing effect. Its diet mostly consists of other tiny insects. The ones that it favours most can be found on the plants that petalaces are made from. Hunters wearing a petalace will attract golden spirit bugs, and often return from hunts with their petalace covered in them. A dye made from this bug is a famous specialty in Kamura Village. Meeting up with Master Atsushi, I encounter our first monsters, a pack of Izuchi, an omnivorous bird wyvern that has a characteristic scythe-shaped tail. It uses this tail to attack, but also to climb trees and chop down fruit. Most Izuchi fall into herds, led by a great Izuchi. In each herd, the two best fighters are selected by the leader to help it hunt prey. I gather some Dragon Strike nuts to make wyvern ammo for the bowguns before wetting my blade with its first taste of monster blood. I immediately realise when fighting the Izuchi how different the greatsword combat is in Rise Sunbreak compared to Monster Hunter Generation Ultimates, which I'm currently playing through with a friend in my own time. This will take some getting used to. After slaying the Izuchi, Master Atsushi tells me to gather materials off of their lifeless corpses. I carve off the Izuchi's tails, which is used to make various Izuchi-themed weapons and armor. This quest, while brief, is what Monster Hunter is all about. By gathering materials around the map and off of the monsters that we kill, we're able to craft items that make our hunts easier, and weapons and armor that increase our hunter's stats. Monster Hunter doesn't have an experience-based leveling system like in a typical RPG like Pokemon or Final Fantasy. My only means of getting stronger is through the materials I find along the way. The stronger my hunter gets, the better my chances will be going up against stronger monsters. On the way back to meet Master Atsushi, I find a wirebug, which temporarily increases the total wirebugs I can carry from 2 to 3. A beetle native to the Kamura area. The term wirebug generally refers to the females of the species. It is capable of producing a super strong silk colloquially known as iron silk, which it uses to carry materials to build its nest. For ages, the villagers of Kamura have trained wirebugs to make use of their mobility. It's skittish when feral, but quite obedient once trained. Loves jewel lilies. While talking with Master Atsushi, he teaches me how to fast travel across the map. Doing so and meeting him back at base camp completes this tutorial quest, and with it, this video. I've covered a lot today, and while it might seem overwhelming at first if you're not familiar with Monster Hunter, all of this becomes second nature once you get used to it. If you're a beginner to this franchise and you want to get into the series, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is a fantastic game to start with. Thank you very much for watching. I'll leave you with your based scripture for this video. Isaiah 43, verses 16 through 21. Thus says the Lord, who makes a way in the sea, a path in the mighty waters, who brings forth chariot and horse, army and warrior. They lie down, they cannot rise, they are extinguished, quenched like a wick. Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness, and rivers in the desert. The wild beasts will honour me, the jackals and the ostriches, for I give water in the wilderness, rivers in the desert, to give drink to my chosen people, the people whom I formed for myself, that they might declare my praise.